Hello, gentlemen. I am the woman behind this channel. Today, I am going to say something hard to hear. A sexless marriage does not begin in the bedroom. It begins the moment you are treated with contempt. It begins the day you choose silence, just to keep the peace. I have witnessed hundreds of men just like this. They are kind, hardworking, and they love their wives and children with all their hearts. But they are slowly dying inside their own homes. They have become faded shadows next to their wives. And they do not understand why their wives have grown so cold. The naked truth is this. Women do not sleep with men they look down on. She cannot desire an overgrown little boy. She cannot crave a man she walks all over. This is biological instinct, not a rational choice. And your silence is killing her desire for you. So what do the typical marriage experts tell you to do? They tell you to wash more dishes. They tell you to listen more, to validate her every emotion. They tell you to yield, to be softer, to be gentler. But they are ignoring one brutal truth. Contempt toward men has become a cultural norm. The modern woman is taught that criticism equals power. She is taught that her husband is a fool who needs fixing. Every sitcom, every commercial reinforces this idea. The husband is always the bumbling idiot on television. The wife is always the brilliant one rolling her eyes in exhaustion. And when respect disappears from a household, sexual attraction vanishes right along with it. Every effort to be the nice guy becomes completely useless. The harder you try, the more she looks down on you. Before I go any further, I need to make one thing clear. This content is not for marriages involving violence. It does not apply if there is substance abuse in the home. If you are in danger, please seek legal help immediately. We are here to dissect the psychology of the ordinary marriage, to examine the silent diseases that quietly kill love. Now I'm going to point out the 5 most dangerous poisons. 5 poisons that are seeping into your marriage right now. The first poison is the chronic habit of, well, actually, you are telling a story at the dinner table. She cuts you off mid-sentence without a second thought. She corrects every tiny, meaningless little detail. She talks down to your intelligence with a condescending tone. She explains things to you that you already know perfectly well. She acts as though you understand nothing about life. And this happens right in front of your friends. It happens right in front of your own children. Every interruption is a small knife cut to your self-esteem. Every, well, actually is a brick smashing your authority. The second poison is the behavior of mothering the husband. This is when she turns herself into your mother. She gives you orders like you are a misbehaving child. Did you put on your jacket? It is cold outside. Eat less salt. How many times do I have to tell you? Where did you put the keys? Did you lose them again? She manages every single small action of your day. She controls every dollar that you spend. She decides who you can see and where you can go. This strips away every ounce of independence from a man. And no man on earth sleeps with his own mother. No woman ever desires her own little boy. When she turns you into her son, desire dies on the spot. The third poison is the weapon of emotional withdrawal. This is the quietest weapon, but also the most devastating. She uses silence as a tool to punish you. She turns her back to the wall every night in bed. She gives you clipped answers, cold as ice. She walks right past you as if you do not exist. This coldness is a tool to force you into submission. She only grants affection when you do exactly what she wants. You have to apologize. You have to beg. You have to plead. You have to guess what you did wrong this time. This is emotional manipulation in its most refined form, and it is turning you into a trained dog. The fourth poison is the behavior of social sabotage. She complains about you to every one of her friends. She badmouths you to her mother and her cousins. She posts passive-aggressive statuses on social media. My husband is basically a 3-year-old in a grown man's body. She turns you into a joke in front of your own kids. She rolls her eyes when you speak at a dinner party. She interrupts you and corrects you in front of crowds. She builds a coalition of women against you, and you become the common enemy in all of her stories. Your image as a man gets dragged through the mud everywhere. The fifth poison is the criticism with no way out. You did 9 things right around the house that day, but she only zeroes in on the 10th thing you forgot. You fixed the leaky faucet in the kitchen. She asks why you did not fix the squeaky door while you were at it. You earn enough money to keep the family stable and secure. She asks why you cannot earn even more than that. Every effort you make gets erased by one small mistake. She is proud of the fact that she never stops nagging you. She sees her nagging as love and caring concern. But in reality, it is the slow erosion of your soul. So what does science say about these toxic behaviors? Science calls this relational aggression. This is the formal psychological term, relational aggression. There is a famous study from Brigham Young University. This study was conducted by Dr. Nelson and Dr. Carroll. They found that women use this tactic far more often than men. They use emotional isolation to gain control in the relationship. They use silence as a weapon of war. They create a downward spiral with no end in sight. And what did Dr. John Gottman call contempt? He called it the horseman of the apocalypse of marriage. Out of the 4 horsemen that destroy a marriage, contempt is number 1. Contempt is the single greatest predictor of divorce. It is more accurate than fighting, more accurate than infidelity. And what about the biology of your own body? Your body will pump out cortisol on a continuous basis. Cortisol is the stress hormone produced when you are under attack. High cortisol crashes your testosterone levels into the floor. When testosterone drops, your sexual desire freezes over, and you simply cannot desire someone who is attacking your nervous system. You cannot love someone who makes you live in constant fear. This is biology. This is not a matter of willpower. Now let us talk about the biggest mistake you keep making. You choose silence in order to keep the household warm and peaceful. You think that yielding will somehow bring you peace. You think that if you just endure, everything will eventually pass. But that silence is killing you with your own 2 hands. It is killing the masculine identity inside of you. A man without boundaries is a man without attraction. A man who cannot say no is nothing but a shadow. Women have an instinct to seek safety and strength. They cannot feel safe next to a weak man. They cannot feel safe next to a man they walk all over. Think about this carefully for 1 full minute. If she can trample on you this easily, then anyone out there in the world can do the same. She is living with a man who cannot protect her, and her ancient instincts know this fact perfectly well. Your concessions only bring her quiet, simmering contempt. You are losing your leadership position inside your own family. When masculine strength dies, sexual desire dies right along with it. So what is the real solution, gentlemen? The solution is not to try and change your wife. You cannot use logic to force someone to desire you. You cannot argue your way back into her respect. Respect has to be earned back through action. Stop focusing on your wife's negative reactions. Come back to taking ownership of your own life. I want you to hear about a concept called extreme ownership. This concept was introduced by Jocko Willink in his book. He is a former commander of the United States Navy SEALs. Extreme ownership means that you take responsibility for everything. Everything in your life is something you created. Every major change starts from within yourself. Now I am going to give you 3 specific steps. Step number 1 is to set hard boundaries immediately. The next time she speaks to you with contempt, stay calm. Look directly into her eyes without blinking once. Say clearly, I will not accept being disrespected. We will talk again when you are ready to be constructive. Do not argue, do not explain, do not beg or defend yourself. Walk away from that toxic conversation right then and there. Walk out the door, drive away, go get a cup of coffee. She will be shocked because this is the first time you have held a boundary. She may get furious. She may escalate the conflict even more. Hold your ground like a rock standing firm in a storm. Step number 2 is to detach your ego from your wife's anger. This is the hardest step, but it is the most important one. Do not treat her criticism as a personal attack on you. Treat it as feedback about her own emotional state. When she nags, she is actually telling you about herself. She is telling you about her insecurity and her exhaustion. You are just the screen she is projecting onto. Maintain absolute composure, like a stone in a flowing river. The water keeps flowing, but the stone does not move an inch. This is the true strength of a fully grown man. Step number 3 is to pursue a personal mission with obsession. You must have something in your life more important than your wife. I know this sounds like it goes against conventional wisdom, But this is the truth that very few people dare to say out loud. When your wife is the center of your universe, you become weak. When you have a mission, you become a magnet of attraction. Pour your energy into daily physical training. Get to the gym 3 times a week without missing a single session. Read books, learn new skills, build your career. Spend time with other ambitious, driven men. A man with a purpose always carries his own gravitational pull. Become the best version of yourself you have ever dreamed of. When you change, the entire world around you changes with you. Your wife will start to look at you with different eyes. She will sense a new energy radiating from you. She will get curious. She will get insecure. She will want you back. This is the greatest paradox of the modern marriage. The more you chase her, the further you push her away. The more firmly you stand on your own 2 feet, the closer she comes. Now I want to ask you one honest question. Are you tired of living like a shadow inside your own home? Are you exhausted from bowing your head and just enduring it? Do you want to reclaim the strength of a man who leads? Subscribe to the channel and join our community. We do not just talk about sex or about marriage. We talk about rebirthing the powerful man inside of you, the man you have lost over all of these long years, the man you used to be in your early 20s. Stand up and take command of your own destiny. And now, I want you to imagine one very specific scene. Tonight you come home after a long day of work. You open the door and walk in. Your wife is in the kitchen. She turns around and starts nagging you for no reason at all, about something tiny, about some insignificant little mistake. Her voice is full of contempt, just like every other day. The question I have for you in this very moment is whether you will bow your head and endure it like always, or will you smile, turn around, and walk away?